we should be live. How are y'all doing? Sorry about being late. I was on Steve's roundtable and I didn't realize the time. And here I am. So I made it. Of course, I had to take a small break right after I got off of that. So how you doing, Pork Chop? Wendy, Ray? How are y'all? I hope all is well tonight. We're just heading home. Man, I tell you what, how you doing, Tommy? This has been a unexpected week, that is for sure. Got my car broke into. Well, not actually broken into. I just got stuff stolen out of my car, including my wallet and some other things, flashlight, big knife, I'm not sure what else. I thought I had my phone muted. But anyway, so I have been dealing with getting cards canceled and redone and everything else. So I haven't worked much this week. I hadn't actually I've done one or two reviews. I did a review on something that's really cool, y'all. I think it'll reach over here. We may try this out next week. So, well, there we go. A camera. So basically just like the one I've got, but I'm going to try to maybe set it up to have, maybe use my fireplace and that for a background, because I got casters for my rolling my desk, so I can roll it in here now, and that's what's up. So what's up in y'all's world? I don't even have, let's see, I don't even have YouTube open. I'm just running off StreamYard, so it'll be all right. I guess y'all can hear me okay. So if anybody wants to say we can't hear you, or where's the blue lights, because I didn't even turn them on, did I? Wasn't even thinking about it. I was late for imagine that, me being late. But I was late for Steve's. That's up a little high, but there we go. Wish it could be up like about there. And then that puts me down bottom. I guess that's all right, but now you can see my microphone. Okay. All right, good deal. When I went on Steve's, they said that I was getting a little back feed. So apparently I just turned the gain down on it. So hopefully that cleared it up. We thought you had fallen asleep. No. I actually went out to do Spark. I worked on some reviews earlier, or a review earlier. Finished up that camera. Then I went to do a Spark order, and I stayed up at Spark. I stayed up at Walmart for a little while. Didn't get anything, and ran to the Casa. Didn't get anything for about 2.5 hours. So I just came back home, and then I had some things going, and Steve had asked me to join his roundtable this evening since he wasn't going to be there. So I wound up being, I think, about 1 minute late for that. So I really haven't had a whole lot of time to just stop. But anyway, yeah. Aside from dealing with credit card companies, banks, and all this and that, bank cards. Luckily, me and my mom had gone to Sam's, so I had my Chase Bank and my Sam's card in my pocket. And like a dummy, I never take my wallet out of the car. I always just leave it in the car because I don't carry cash. Very, very seldom do I have cash. Occasionally I do. But and it's a bad mistake. It's a bad habit, and I will not do that no more. Whenever I get a new wallet, but I don't have anything to put in it except for a Sam's card and a Chase card. But yes, I did see the tier system. If you take the little, they had a training little questionnaire. If you answered that, then it moved you up the tier. That didn't do me any good. But anyway, yeah. So this has been not so good of a week. Could have been worse. So what made the whole thing really bad? And I did right off. I didn't think about it. I hated to get my wallet stolen because what a pain. But my dad had gave me a $2 bill back when I was a kid, and that was in my wallet. He always told. He said, "If you'll always carry that, you'll never be completely broke." And I have been completely broke, other than that $2 bill, several times throughout the years. But somebody else has that $2 bill now, so it won't mean to them what it meant to me. But maybe they'll spend it, and somebody else will wind up getting it and appreciate it. Anyway, I had a proxy picks yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And I accepted it. It was on my list. What's it called? Anyway, it was on there. I went to go do it, and it just disappeared. I don't know what happened to it. Sent him a message, and never got any response from him either. I don't know if the company or the person canceled the order, or they pulled it from me and gave it to somebody else. I really don't know. But anyway. But that was kind of it was $20, but it was to take 7 pictures, I think. It was residential. You know, you got to take the front and sides, the address, up the street and down the street, and then answer a few questions. So it was an easy task. It was $20. Well, the only thing I see on Proxy Picks is the little contact us button up there. I clicked on that, and it brings up that. So, and I did that, and I submitted it, but I never got anything back. Yeah, here is that. The tier system instructions. Let's see. If I turn it just lit up real good a while ago. There we go. Yeah, I've done that. We did one of those today. I like doing those. I mean, because they're easy. But I tell you one thing that I didn't get this month that I was supposed to get was the Verizon job. But I didn't contact them to ask about it because, in all honesty, I didn't really like doing it because you have to get them to unlock doors for you to take the picture, and you feel like you're bothering them. And you got to take like 50 pictures inside the Verizon store. I mean, you're taking pictures of a trash can, and then the employees are coming in because you got to be there right before they work. So it's you, the manager, and you. Last time it was one other person, which wasn't a big deal. But before I got even halfway through, the rest of the employees come in, and I was trying to walk around them. So I didn't really push it, but they may still assign it to me. I mean, it's $60, so I would do it, but I'm not going to like go out of my way to say, "Hey, what happened to this?" Now the FedEx one, I don't mind doing it all, man. I can walk around out in the parking lot. I got it done. That's $50. I walk around out in the parking lot and take pictures. That ain't no big deal. And that's why I like in the residentials, even the car dealerships. We had a car dealership. It's no big deal. But when you got to work around, not work around people, but try to not get them in the picture, and you're getting in their way, and they're getting in yours, and it's just kind of a little bit of a hassle. And if you don't have to do it, why? But anyway, I sent them 3 messages this week and had no reply. I ended up calling them instead. Well, since this one was I believe it was yesterday. Um, I think it was earlier in the day. I'm not going to imagine it's gone. It was just kind of funny that it was on the app and then it was gone. It was under the available. And then when I clicked, click started or whatever, it moved over. It had a little 1 in the parentheses under in progress. And then when I clicked on that tab, it just, because I saw the 1 pop up. And when I clicked on the progress tab to go to actually start the job or whatever I forgot how exactly to do it. But anyway, it just disappeared. So it was $20, but that's okay. All the way it goes sometimes. It would really like 125 pictures on those Verizon jobs. I have 2 of those to do now, and may go another one if they accept and have extra pay. Oops, I'm repeating right. Oh. Was it that many pictures at Verizon? Let's see. Here's Verizon. If my internet will load. I did, it was kind of ironic. Well, this is open now. You took 50. Well, yeah, because I guess all I had to do is have 50 pictures. It says you took 50 photos. And 182 questions. There's a lot of questions. That's another reason why not really pushing it. I mean, they sent me the name badge and all that, but I don't even know what I did with it. But I think last week we was talking about the mobile Wi-Fi stuff. I got that in, did the review on it, and it sucks. Here it does. It was worse than my U.S. cellular, my internet service or cellular service. But I did the speed test, and I guess it would depend. The product itself seemed to be good, but I guess it depends on where you're at, how many towers it's going to bounce off, and it's $550 a month. Maybe I didn't take it out. I just tried it here at the apartment. But anyway, it was just kind of funny that we was talking about that, and then I got the opportunity to review one to see how it was. So. I spoke with a bloke who sends out the ID badges for those assignments. He looks at all the pictures, etc. too. He said they'd like a minimum of 125 pictures. Huh. Well, this one, yeah, that would. I also noted, I remember it said to open the cabinet doors or the slide drawers, and you only need to open them and take one picture instead of individual pictures. I never even saw an option or anything requesting to take that picture. But I can't imagine taking 125. It's hard enough finding something to take 50 of. Hold on just a second. That's got me. Oh, there it is. Sorry, I started thinking about that and I was wondering where it was at. But, like I said, in different areas, this thing might do good. Hey, Lisa, how are you? I'm having a better day than I had Tuesday. Car got broke into Tuesday. But yeah, it's kind of cool. But you plug in your cell phone or whatever to charge them, whether it's an iPhone or a regular phone. What do you call those on that plug on iPhone? Is it? It's called some kind of connection, but I'm not a fire. I don't remember what it's called. I need to look that up so when I review stuff like this, I'll actually act like I know what I'm talking about. Half the time I fly by the seat of my pants anyway. But anyway, it's pretty cool. But the review will probably be out. I don't know when it'll be out. Lightning, okay, lightning. No, they didn't. The cop that came over said that they probably never will. It was most likely kids or young adults because I didn't even know about it, but I got an email or a text or something from my Chime Bank that said that a payment was declined because there wasn't enough money, and they was trying to charge something for $169 at a gaming service. Well, I couldn't figure. I thought, man, maybe my computer got hacked or something. And then I looked at my Chime account, and they had already charged $129 and two $10.51 things. One of them was to PlayStation Gaming, whatever that is, on PlayStation Gaming Network, and the other two, and the big charge was to some other game site. So it was probably teenagers. They got a big hunting knife, a good flashlight. I love that flashlight. I like the knife too. And then my wallet, and I think that was it. They left the dash cam, my sunglasses up in the sun visor or the sunglass holder. There was like $10 or $12 cash in the little. It's not an ashtray anymore, but where an ashtray would have been. But there you go. It's a pain because got to redo all that. Oh, man, how you doing, Black Beauty Machine? I'm scared to say anything on here anymore. You guys went on a deleting people frenzy lately. I didn't delete anybody. I don't know where you got that at, but okay, poor child. Okay. Yeah, like you, I don't know what you're talking about deleting. I haven't deleted. I don't delete anything. And there's even some comments on reviews and comments on some of my videos that some of them are very rude, but I leave them there. And I just say, thank you for watching. And I'm not deleting nobody. Hey, Zabak, how are you? But pork chop, a bad habit, but I've always left my wallet in my car. And I know there's a big difference between where you live and where I live, but maybe not so much anymore. But I normally do lock my car, but me and my mom had went to Sam's and I got the big box out of the trunk, come upstairs, and I never, it was in the afternoon, and I probably was going to go back out. I don't know, but I didn't lock the car. So, lesson learned. I hate that I lost my $2 bill that my dad gave me. The rest of everything can be replaced over time, and a pig has to cancel credit cards and all that. But it is what it is. But I shouldn't have let the car unlocked. So, and in the world above, what's up, Pam? Nothing but the rent. And they must be talking about being deleted on other channels. I guess so. I don't delete anybody. Hurt the shock of the hour. Okay, so they stole they stole my wallet. And then they used the bank card to buy some. I'm not a gamer, but I guess it's obviously they bought one game because it was $129. And then I guess you get buy time on the server. I'm trying to remember when my son, he played Xbox Live, and you could buy like a certain amount of time or certain little things on the game servers, but both of them was $10.81 or something. I mean, I just wish that, and they got $42. I think it was $42 cash is what I had, because I sold a little dresser that I did a review on for $50, and I bought a gallon of tea and then a large sweet tea. So I had 40. The tea is $5.40, and a cup of tea is $2 even. So $42 and some change. But then there was cash in the little ashtray thing. They didn't even bother that. There was a lot more in there they could have got, but they didn't. Headphones, a little power pack thing to charge your phones with. They ain't getting none of that. Anyway. How you doing, Joshua? Joshua Tree. We have cameras here where I live. The thing is the cameras point to the building. They don't have, and I would give them a security camera if they would hook it up to point to the parking lots. Because I call them. So apparently either the kids got lucky, or the people got lucky, or a person got lucky, or they knew there was cameras. So they walked down the fence line in front of the cars, not to come out to where the camera would go. So they either knew what they was doing, or they just got lucky, because they couldn't find any video. Hey, doing, T-Ron? So many people are moving to Texas, so you have to play defense now. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, G-Court. I don't do Bitcoin. Don't know anything about it and don't care anything about it. Angels up, no more prisoner show. These are too stupid and still Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just glad there wasn't something in there that would have been a lot more dangerous and a lot more money too. But I don't leave that in the car. Hope I never get a break in. It's a pain. And you ladies that get married and you have to change your last name. I never thought much about it, but my Social Security card that I'm going to have to go get, but I've got to wait till I get a driver's license, because my understanding is you have to have an ID to get your Social Security card. And since they stole my wallet, I don't have nothing. But you ladies that have to go mess with all that, I feel bad for you. Because I'm dreading having to go deal with the Social Security office to get a Social Security card. I've had that Social Security card since I was probably about 14, maybe 15. Back when I was young, you didn't have to have a Social Security card. Now they give you one at birth. But back then you didn't get one until you got old enough to get a job. As far as I know. I mean, I don't remember ever having one up until I started needing one. But it was a collector's item or close to it. What is collector's items? What, 15 years old? You know, like on cars, there's a classic, collectors. There's different versions. Anyway, it was old. It was wrinkled up, but you could still read it. I do sometimes, Steve. I just don't all the time. But it made me think, what if I would have been carrying it and I'd have walked down there and caught him at the car? I wouldn't want to use that on somebody stealing a wallet. I mean, legally you can, I know, but you got to live with your actions. And I don't know. I'm glad I wasn't put in the situation. You can get a replacement driver's license online. Yeah, I already ordered. It's $11. I already got that coming in. It's 10 days, I guess. I don't use credit cards, but I've been working on getting my credit built higher up. And I was told that if you have credit cards, just don't use them. But it shows a available balance or something. Anyway, it's supposed to help your credit rating increase. But I'm not real sure how all that works. I'm not a financial person, but I've applied and got a few free credit cards. I'm not going to pay an annual fee for credit cards. Pay them 39% interest. That's a ripoff. But anyway, I had to cancel those credit. The kids hadn't used, or whoever hadn't used anything except for the Chime Bank card. They had probably $4,000 available to them, but they just wanted their games. They wanted to play their game for a little while. So hopefully they enjoyed it, little stinkers. Unfortunately, it's like the cop said, if they're doing that now, unless they have something major happen in their life, 10 years from now, what are they going to be stealing? They're going to be breaking into houses and stealing the whole car. You know, I mean, I'm not saying they all will, you know, but if they stay on that trend, hopefully something will happen and they won't get hurt and they'll just learn a valuable lesson and change their ways. DPS office is not like it used to be. It used to be a pain. Well, I got lucky on the driver's license because you have to, and I don't know if it's everywhere, but in Texas, you have to have the audit number that's on your driver's license in order to get a new driver's license online. If you don't have that, you have to go out to the DPS. But I had a picture of my driver's license. So I had the audit number, so I was able to do it online for $11. But I still got to wait and do the Social Security card. And since I owe Uncle Sam, now I can't. I'd have made payment arrangements, but that card that they stole was what I made the arrangements with. But when you go to the IRS website, you can't change that because it's been changed within 180 days. So now I'm going to have to go to the IRS office. But there's no use in me going to the IRS office until I have an ID and a Social Security card, probably. So, and that payment, they're supposed to take out the 25th. So hopefully all this gets done within the next 10 days. I don't need the IRS trying to charge an account that is not an account anymore. I think Trump would get rid. No, he wouldn't get rid. No, Trump. I'm not a political person, but I know last time he was running for office, he was wanting to make a flat tax, not get rid of taxes. and just make a flat tax, which I do agree with that one. But did you have a medical insurance? Oh, I did, didn't I? Oh, I also have my fishing license too. If you have a medical insurance card, you need to request your. Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. And I had my house uh, broke into, and then that was kind of a pain. But then I had my house burnt, and to stop and think about what all was in the house, and I'm sitting there trying to. I didn't even think about my insurance card. Yep, I need to do that. And I don't even have an ink pen. I was trying to find an ink pen to write down on the little paper. The police. This is their paper they left. No kind of forms, but anyway, I put it down on Notepad, which I've got to call the police department back. But I need to, and I hate to. I'm not ignoring y'all or ignoring anything, but I need to write that down or I will forget. Replace insurance card. Okay. Thank you. I don't know what all was in my wallet. I forgot about the insurance card. Oh, library card. I had a library card for, Lord, 40 years. Anyway, that's been my week. Questions of the day. Will you be locking your doors? Yes, ma'am, I am. I luckily I can lock it from up here, and if I listen real close, I can hear the horn honk. But yeah, what is it? The Honda or Hyundai, whatever it is. I forgot what car it is, but when you start to walk away with it with a key fob, it automatically locks. I need one of those because even after that happened, yesterday I went to do a shopping order on Spark, and I opened the trunk and put the stuff in the trunk and went over to the side and I just opened the door. I didn't lock the door. I used to lock the door all the time, and I've just kind of gotten laxed on it. And I gotta get back into the habit of locking the door. And it's not that I'm leaving on purpose. I mean, it's not a big deal to unlock it. Just matter of fact, you just push the little button on the door handle on my car. You don't have to use a key or nothing. Yes, I will be locking it. I'll tell you what I remember. Right now, well, I guess they could have stolen a dash cam. And as far as dash cams go, if that most of them you can hook up hot wire to it to where it stays active all the time. It doesn't stay on, but if it detects motion or something shakes the car, then it records for 30 seconds. I'd have had that done, since the dash cam I have is 3-channel, it would have videoed the inside of the car. And I don't know, it's debatable because a few years ago, I would have said I'd like to know who it was and go talk to their parents. And unfortunately, there's a lot of parents now that is probably the ones that taught the kids how to steal because they're disrespectful too. Not all of them, and I'm sure only a few of them are. But back in the day, man, if you did something wrong and somebody went and told your parents, you was in trouble. And I'd rather, if it was I look at it, if it was a kid and that was their first time of doing something like that and they got caught, I'd rather their parents take care of it than calling the cops. It's hard enough being a kid growing up nowadays, but if you wind up getting a record already, it's going to be a tough life, but you got to learn the lesson too. So if the parents are good and will whoop that butt, then I would say let the parents take care of it. Don't worry about the cops. But if the parents ain't respectful, and that's a bad thing. A lot of people are not anymore. What? The Stockholm Bell really? Uh, I don't eat Taco Bell. I'm a Taco Casa man. Although Taco Bell's Mexican pizza's pretty good. Haven't heard them with that butt. And they just, well, I'm old school. And I didn't whip my kids, to be honest with you. When their mom died, I spoiled them, and I probably should have whipped them, but I did correct them, and I don't believe that spankings are a necessity in every situation. Some situations call for it, but and some kids deserve it. But my kids overall, they got in a little bit of trouble, but overall they weren't bad kids. But I'm not against whooping that butt either. You know, but and there's a lot of difference between a whipping and a beating. A beating, nobody deserves a beating. But think about it. A few adults that might need a beating, but to really do it for real, no. But I'm not against spankings, but if there's a better way to, but it all depends on the kid too and how they do. Nothing worse than a parent dying early. Yeah, my kids were 8 and 11, so I became Mr. Mom overnight. Y'all remember that show? Luckily, my mom was around to help a lot. My dad gave me several spankings. I learned not to upset my dad. Yeah. My dad was pretty cool about it. Not cool about it, but when he called my name, Brandon Jean, when he threw my middle name in there, I knew I was in trouble, and he would grit his teeth. And if he started gritting his teeth, you done messed up. Back off quickly. So, and my sister, she kind of helped me learn how far I could push things, because my sister pushed things to the point and over the point many times. And I learned what I could get away with and what I couldn't get away with. So overall, I was a good kid. I never really got in any trouble. I did some things that I should have gotten in trouble over. I just didn't get caught. But it wasn't nothing compared to what some kids do and have done. But even elderly people are getting only fans now to pay. Oh, I can only imagine. No, I don't want to imagine. Just drop that. We don't even want to talk about that. Would you kick your Don out the house if you tried? What is a Don? Oh, son. No. Well, number one, it depends on if they have mental problems. Number two, how old are they? Number three, is it more than once? My son bucked up to me one time, and I put him up against the wall and asked him if he really wanted to go there. Shocked him. He never did it again. But if you let kids get away with a little bit and a little bit, you can let them play around and joke around a little bit, but don't let them continue to do it, because they're going to keep pushing it. Just like a boss at a job. If you do an absolutely great job and you put in extra effort, next time they're going to want you to put in a little more effort, and then a little more effort. And the kid is the same way. If you give them a mile, next time they're going to take a mile and a step. Next time it's a mile and 3 steps, and it's going to keep building. So kind of nip it in their butt when they're young, because some of these kids, man, they're big kids. And hello, Kason. Speaking of kids, there's one right there. This is my grandson. But no, I wouldn't kick a kid out of the house. But and if they continued to fight and there was 16, 17, they might be advised to consider other living arrangements. So it's either shape up or ship out. But you can't turn your back on them completely. But you don't have to let them know that. If you give them an inch, they will take a mile. Absolutely. I mean, you let them learn things, but don't let them walk all over you, because they'll start stomping on you if you're not careful. And I'm not saying women can't defend themselves, but a lot of boys, and it's the male, when they reach a certain age, they think they're smarter and they're bigger and they're tougher than mama. So mama needs to, especially mamas, need to light into them and straighten them out real quick. And dad's the same way. But anyway, you can't disrespect them. No, absolutely. And the home shouldn't be disrespected, but the home should also be the safe place where you don't have to worry about getting beat up or anything. And, there's parents that beat up the kids. And I worked at a state hospital, so there was some kids that beat up the parents. That's why I say you got to look at their mental stability and see what that situation is. You can't kick out a mentally disturbed child because they beat you up. You need to get them help, but you can't continue to get beat up because you don't know at what point that's going to stop, because there are kids that's killed their parents. They just beat them just because they didn't get to watch a certain show on TV or play a certain game. You made them get off the Xbox after an hour. And there's been kids that kill people over that. And you got to look at their mental stability and see, but get them help. Did the kids at the hospital like it? Yes, I got along with all of them. Man, I didn't work on the unit with the kids, but we called it floating. When they would be shorthanded on one unit, you would go over and work with the kids, or there was different units out there, but you would go over to that unit. But I did work with the kids probably once or twice a month. Man, that's gravy. I mean, there was a couple of kids that had authority issues, but if you approach them with a little respect, and don't treat them horrible, and adults are the same way. You got adult mental patients that are at a kid's mentality, but if you just treat them like normal people and don't treat them like there's something wrong with them. I mean, there is something wrong with them, but you just be nice. And, like I said, there was a couple with a little authority issue, but it's all in how you talk to them and how you act. And if you come across strong and headstrong and bossy, you're going to have problems. Hey, man, let's not do that. Let's go over here and do this. Most of the time, you can redirect them. That's what you have to do with the kids, because you can't restrain kids the same way as you do adults. And it's getting to where now you can't even restrain the adults like you used to be able to, because it's their rights. If they punch somebody, before I left, they was starting a deal where if they was fixing to hit somebody, you couldn't do anything. You could just stand there and watch. You could try to redirect them, but you couldn't intervene physically. You had to wait until they actually punched them. And I didn't believe in that, and I didn't do that. If somebody was fixing to punch somebody, I generally stepped between them And I got along. I only had one young adult hit me one time, and that was my fault because in that situation, I was in a really, really bad mood that day, and the nurses wanted to give him a shot, and he was not going to take the shot. And I said, "Oh yes, you are." He was about 4'11". Well, he was probably about 5'3", 5'4", little wiry kid. And he come bouncing down through there and drawed that hand up, and he popped me on the head, and it made me mad more than anything. I mean, it hurt a little bit, but not that. I can take a punch most of the time, but he didn't come out the winner on it. He was restrained, and then he was put in a chair, and then he was given the shot that he didn't want to take. Didn't work out for him, but that was my fault because of the way I approached it. Because that's what I'm saying. And it doesn't matter how good of a person you are, how good you think you are. You're not always 100% of the time, all the time, going to give the reaction that you should give. But you need to stop and think and work on it. But if you get used to giving a bad reaction real quick, you're going to start, or, a bad response. You're going to do that more often, and then it's going to get you in a lot of trouble. And in places like that, and in the real world, out in the open, free world. But nobody's perfect, and that was my mistake there. That was the one and only time out of the years that I worked out there that I ever got hit. Now, I got spit on one time, but it wasn't me that got spit on. They were spitting on somebody else, and it just happened to hit me a little bit. And now that's considered assault. You can file charges on them, even on a mental patient. I don't know. How did we start talking about this anyway? You can't respect them. The girls were probably harder to deal with. Yeah. Well, we had one young lady that, like I said, even adults have a child's mentality sometimes, but they're not the size of a little child. And she was a little spoiled. She had mental issues, yes, but a lot of those issues probably could have been straightened out when she was younger with a little positive, what's the word? If she would have gotten in trouble a little more, but she probably got away with everything, got used to getting her way on everything because she would throw a fit, and somebody let her throw a fit, and pretty soon she threw a bigger fit, and pretty soon a major fit, because she knew she would get her way. But there was some issues there. Brandon got hard. Yeah, well, I don't know. Didn't know you could box. Oh. That kid box, don't worry. Casey, we don't treat grandkids like kids. My grandkids can get away with anything with me. Fortunately, they're good kids. Mine get away with pretty much everything with me. My kids did too. I mean, there's certain things, you got to draw the line, but you got to draw the line and not let them get away with everything. But you got to give them a little room to learn, a little room to grow. Because if you keep them tied down, they're not going to grow and they're not going to learn. And that's what it's all about. You got to learn to coexist. You know what I'm saying? Coexist with everybody. And that's one of the things I'm not real sure I agree with on homeschooling. I believe homeschooling is good as far as the education goes, but as far as social skills, and that was one of the units I worked on when I did work out at State Hospital, was a social behavior unit. And it was to teach them social skills. And a lot of them just didn't have it. And that's really, when I started working retail, I used to be really shy and bashful and everything. I started working retail. I started coming out of my shell more. And the older I got, the more I came out. And when I went to work at State Hospital, I really came out of my shell. You have to, and so what if you say something stupid? You know, if a lot of, especially northern people, think southern people sometimes stick their foot in their mouth, and we do. But I think everybody does. But I don't worry about it no more. If I stick my foot in my mouth, then I do. If I sound dumb, I do. But if you listen to me, I might not sound as dumb as what it sounded at first if you think about it. Oh, hang on just a second. But anyway. How you doing, Drone Days? My grandpa let me go on things, then met my mother. Well, that's not fair either. What are your thoughts about this meaningless life? Everything we work for and do, we can't keep forever. Good night, Miss Wendy. Have a good night, and thanks for being here. Um, I don't know really where you're going with that, but actually, that has a lot of question. What are your thoughts about this meaningless life? Everything we work for and do, we can't keep it forever. The thing is, that life is not meaningless because, and I never really thought about this when I was younger. My grandparents was older when they had my mom, so that means when I came along, they were on up there. My uh, aunts and uncles are my mom's age, so my grandparents' great grandkids were my age. But anyway, what I'm getting at is, and maybe if you stop and think about, if you think life is meaningless, I don't know how old you are, but if you're young and you don't have kids, it's not, you can't really think about it. But think about your grandparents, and if their life was meaningless, you wouldn't be here. And you may be one of those that say, I didn't choose to be here. Well, you didn't, but you are. So thinking about life being meaningless, it's not meaningless. We're here to produce and to let generations live and have a life and learn and build things and grow. Who knows what it'll be 100 years from now? And no, you can't take it with you, but in all reality, it doesn't matter. Like Casey there, if I die, it doesn't matter if Casey gets this mouse. And that's my grandson. What matters is what you have bestowed on him. What matters is what you have left the thoughts of in his mind. If you were nice and kind, if they, I used to tell my kids, if people can't remember anything about you, if they can just remember it, I just remember his name and that he was nice. That's what matters. Were you nice? Did you make a positive influence on somebody's life in some way? And I'm not talking about anything big. It could be something major. Did you hold the door open for somebody? That can be a big thing. If somebody young, technically it'd be like my step grandpa used to open the car door for kind of like my step grandma, his wife, and that sunk in. And now I try to remember to open the car door for whoever's with me, whether it's a female or my mother, or my mother is female, but you know what I'm saying, a girlfriend, mother, whoever, mainly females. Be kind of weird to open the car door for your buddy, but whatever. Um, it's not really the materialistic things that you're leaving behind. It's the memories and the thoughts and the positivity that you can leave behind. It's you can leave millions of dollars behind, but and like you said, you can't take it with you. So what good does $1 million do? But what you can leave behind is some positivity, and that's what matters. And everybody has a meaning in life, no matter who they are. Even the worst of the worst have a meaning and a purpose in life. It may be for somebody else to look at and think, wow, they're awful. I wouldn't want to be that way. Well, inadvertently, they taught you a lesson that you don't want to be like them. So everything has a meaning. We don't always see it, we don't always understand it, but over time, it makes a difference. So it's not a meaningless life. Sorry, I went way off on that. Favorite character in the Bible? I don't know. David was pretty cool. Interesting. Good night. You probably already gone because I was just rattling. Anyway, good night, pork chop. If you're still here, I'm staying whilst trouble goes. I'm staying whilst trouble goes indoors. Are the mosquitoes bad there? Man, they have been bad here. All that rain we've been having. I drove a bus for 10 years. We drive students up to 26 years old. They could be on their tearing up the bus, and we cannot restrain them at all. Yeah, we're here to learn and to teach others along the way. And it's little things. You don't have to be a scholar. It's just the little things that make a big difference. That's bad, but I get it. Um, well, they you probably know just like they taught us and what we had to do. You just have to try to redirect their attention. But if you're driving the bus, that's going to be kind of hard to do. Working with patients, direct care, on one-on-one when you're not having to like operate a vehicle or anything, you can try to redirect their attention. No mosquitoes here, but I've noticed a storm on its way here though. Lots of lightning so far. Really? I haven't even looked at the radar. I didn't think we had anything. Let's see, where is my weather? Oh, I was late anyway, and it's not like I'm on a timer. Oh yeah. You got a couple of cells south of Wichita up there. They look like they're going pretty much due east. There's some. Oh, yeah, I see where you're talking. Oh, wow, there's a tornado warning. I don't know what state I'm in. There's Fulton, Columbia. How far up north did I go? Oh, that's Missouri. There's Springfield. I saw Springfield, so I know where we're at now. Yeah, y'all got some storms happening up yonder. Be safe out there. My grandpa taught me about the woods and how to clean small game. What was that? My grandpa taught me how to live off the land. Hank Williams Jr. is what I'm talking about. He has taught him to be a businessman. Yeah, that song popped into my head. But it's lessons learned. You got to experience both of us. Older, especially older people. I'm not saying old or just older. They got to experience things a lot of people are not going to get to experience now. My grandpa. This is when my mom may be watching. I don't know. I think he was born in 1907, 1908, somewhere in there. But, somebody born at that time and growing up in the 20, by the time he was old enough to know what's going on in life, is the teens and into the 20s. But the Cowboys was still around, in some areas, but the lesson, the things that you heard growing up, you you won't hear those anymore. Those days, used to, I'd say, 100 years ago, and then I got thinking about it. It wasn't 100 years ago, it was 150 years ago. But all these lessons that we got to learn, unfortunately, a lot of younger people are not going to learn. I think between my parents and my grandparents, I think most of everything that I was taught, or what I feel like I was taught, was to be respectful and to be kind. And if you can help somebody, help them, but don't ignore your family to help a stranger. You got to help your family and then help them. But help where you can, but don't neglect. I'm not going to mention any names, but I know a family that was related, not blood, but by marriage, and they would help their church family and basically friends before they would help their blood family, their own kids. They would kind of forget about what they had planned with their kids and run off and take care of that. So I say, take care of your family first and then take care of others. But be nice to everybody. Be kind, be respectful. A lot of people don't deserve to be respected. But if you keep pouring respectfulness on them, some of it might start rubbing off over time with anyone. No guarantee. But don't do it because you have to do it, but do it because you want to do it, because people can feel the difference between you doing something because you have to do it versus you wanting to do it and being a genuine person, kind of person. And that's what matters. Man, I'm getting deep tonight. My grandpa was 1906. Told me he had wooden sidewalks would get splinters because, wow. Yeah, see, the kids nowadays are never going to hear stories like that. Hopefully you pass these stories down, and it's those little stories, and I don't know. I wish I would have listened a lot more. Going back to the losses during the week, is there something that we can do to help? Is there anything that you need? No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I was looking on Amazon earlier about a wallet, but I mean, no, that I'm all right. Thank you, though. But that was kind. That was nice of you. Thank you. Yeah, had they have, well, I might could, and the Chime bank card that they did use, the guy that I talked to, unfortunately, I could barely understand him, and that's enough said on that. I'm sure y'all know what I'm saying. Um, I think I think he said when because those charges were showing pending, but I think he said when this gets resolved and I get my new card and all that, then they will credit that back to me. I think that's what he said. And if they don't, then I lost. I gave a little thief about $150. Hopefully he enjoys his games, or she. I say a he. It could have been a girl. Could have been a girl. Don't know. But that's all. I mean, all things considered, that's all I lost. Mainly, I lost that $2 bill, and that's that. I'd have gave him $500 if I could have kept that $2 bill. Didn't have $500, but if I had $500, I would have given him $500. But they didn't use any of the other credit cards. Man, they could have went hog wild. They had to do it quickly because the credit cards would start getting fraud alerts. I'm sure because only one of those cards I'd actually used. I had four credit cards. No, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 credit cards, but only one of them had a balance on it. And that's when I went to the doctor. I just went ahead and put that on the card and got gas. Luckily, nothing like that happened. That'd have been a real pain. They'll probably get the monies back. What year was the $2 bill from? I don't know. I think it wasn't a red ink one. I think it was the red ink that was the old one. I don't think. It could have been because I want to say 12, 13 when he gave me that. So 59 minus, say 13 years old. So what was I? Was that 49, 46 years ago? So it was over 46 years old. I mean, it could have been the red ink ones, but I don't think it was because we got the people that my grandparents worked for. They worked on a farm, and Miss Wood would give all the workers, their kids and grandkids and stuff. They give them $2 bills, but they were the old ones, and we always put those in photo albums. And I think my mom still got some. I should have a couple, but when I was younger, I probably got 1 or 2 and spent them, not knowing any better. Especially back then, if I'd have been out of snuff, I'd have probably done it. Yeah, I used to dip snuff. That was before cancer. That scared the snuff out of me, so no more snuff. But anyway, yeah, hopefully they credit that back. But, I didn't have, I guess I could have called the insurance company. Yeah, I had $800 cash actually, my aunt does insurance. She's now her own insurance agent, which if y'all need auto insurance, let me know. She might can hook you up. She does farmers insurance. But she told me that your homeowner's insurance is what covers, like if I had wherever my camera is, if I had I was over there. If I'd had my camera in my car, auto insurance won't cover that, but your homeowners would. Your SOL, I guess, if you don't have homeowners, which I don't have, because I'm renting, but I am going to get renter's insurance. I just need to do it. But, I just didn't want to be dishonest. I could have said I had a built-in car steering. Well, they probably want pictures. I don't know. I could have lied, but you'd have had that $500 to do the deductible. But, generally speaking, if you're dishonest about things, it's going to come back and bite you. just like whoever got in my car, there's a good chance they're going to cut themselves with that knife. Something, karma will get them somehow, someday. I'll never know, but they will. Anyway, I got a buffalo nickel someplace, but only worth 35. Where did I used to have some? And the steel pennies. I only had a couple of buffalo nickels. It might be at my mom's in a box. I got stuff still at my mom's from when my house burnt 20 years ago. No, not 20 years ago. 16, 17 years ago. Anyway. Yeah. I don't really have much here, but over the last 10 years, I've probably moved 4 or 5 times. So I don't. My mom has got the only stable place that I know of that something that I feel that something that I have is safe. You know, I don't know if I'll ever buy. You know, I'm fixing to be 60, and with being a homeowner, you got all the responsibility. Hot water heater goes out, that's yours to fix. Dishwasher goes out, that's yours to fix. Carpet needs replacing, that's your carpet, it's got to be replacing. Unless I wind up making big bucks, and if I wind up making big bucks, I'm probably going to not be around here. Maybe over in East Texas. I don't know. I might be, but it won't be in an apartment and it won't be in town. Especially, doing videos, you don't know. There's so many sounds going on around until you hit record on that video camera. You hit record and it's like everything starts making noises. Airplanes flying over, horns honking, stereos booming. I would like to live out in the country where the worst thing you're going to hear is an old oil pump running or a cow howling. Anyway, who knows? We never know where life's going to go. And that was one of the things that Steve wanted me to talk about on his roundtable tonight was, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off, because if anybody's watching this on the replay, because y'all probably know it, but he was talking about being able to pivot from the gig apps. And technically, what I do is still a gig because it's not a W-2 real job per se, whatever a real job is anymore. But that was my whole thing about it. What I said is don't count on the gig apps. Try to work on something else. And that was what he was wanting me to talk about, is what I was doing now and the Amazon stuff. I had no idea that I would ever be doing anything like this. Never would have passed that at all, thought about it, whatever the proper word is. But here I am. But the thing is if you're doing the gig apps, and I know you guys know, and girls, if anybody's watching this is female, but y'all know that you can't really count on anything. So your best bet is to put your eggs over here, your eggs over here, your eggs over there, your eggs over there. Don't put them all in one basket. Spread them out. Get a little money here, a little money there, a little money from here, a little money from here. It all comes into the same basket, but if you got all your eggs in one basket, what happens if you drop your basket? And the gig app is the same thing. If you're strictly doing DoorDash and something happens, what you going to do? So try to work on other things. Be able to adapt and overcome. Don't be set in your ways too much. A ruddy driver ticket. Had to do a hot water heater last month. big pain. A roadie driver took it, strapped to the top of a small car. Dang! What's her name? Her name's Jennifer, but we always called her Walmart Girl because she put shoe polish all over her car saying Spark Driver, Walmart Delivery, and stuff like that, so people would know. She told me she put a 65 inch or an 85 inch TV on top of her car, and I thought, could you imagine being that customer? Somebody pulls out. I think it was a bigger car. It wasn't like a little compact, but either way, your TV's right on top of that car, and that'd be crazy. And depending on what hot water heater, well, actually, as high as hot water heaters are and as cheap as TVs are getting, hot water heaters kind of cost more than that TV. Don't forget to hit that like button, everyone. I don't even know. I don't even have YouTube open, so I'm not sure how many people's here. I know there's 3 of us. That's okay. At least I'm not sitting here talking to myself, which has been done a lot lately. No, I'm not even going to say lately. It's been done a lot for many years. And I even answer myself too, like I just did. I have a thought, and my other self answers, and I do get aggravated with my helper. My middle name is Gene, so my helper is Gene. I do get aggravated with him sometimes because he doesn't always write down the products that are supposed to be coming in. So when I get that product in, I have no idea who sent it. Can't get good help anymore, not even from yourself. Anyway, I'm out, folks. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me and listening to me ramble. And like the topic said, what was I just talking about life? It seems like I've been doing most of the talking, but y'all been hanging out with me and listening to me, and I appreciate every one of y'all. And I invite you, if you haven't been to Grandpa's Random Reviews, jump on over there and subscribe. I would really like to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'm at 527 now, I think. All the watch time hours I need. I just need the subscribers. But I'm not going to buy them. Anyway, appreciate y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night and wonderful day tomorrow. And have a good day and have a good night and a better day tomorrow, or something like that. I don't remember. Anyway, I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Y'all keep smiling, dashing, dancing, prancing, doing whatever it is you want to do. Keep doing something, because you're going to get old and lazy like me if you don't. I wish I could be lazy. Actually, not lazy. But if I didn't do anything, I would be. Either way, y'all be nice to each other. Keep smiling. And just be kind. We'll catch y'all later. Y'all have a good one. Bye.